How's it going, guys? We are going to be doing a transfer today. Sorry, I'm just getting the frame ready because YouTube policies makes it hard for me to show this type of artwork and transfer work. So we're just breaking it up so it doesn't, this is just going to be a piece of steel today, nothing more. We'll be showing the one of the best transfer methods, I think, personally, but here we go. Okay. So we're done with this design right here. We've already engraved it. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use Sam Alfano's transfer wax. You can tell there's some transfer wax here. And you just got to get a little bit of it on your finger. And we're just going to rub in just like that. Trying to find my towels to clean. And then we go in. Piece of tape, just like this. I like to get some kind of like wood. Now we'll see if this transferred it right. If not, we'll retry, and that's fine. Looks all right. Let me see what it looks like on paper. Not a big fan of that. Kind of hard to see. Let's try that again. That's an all right look to it. I'm not super happy with how light it is. All right, since I'm not happy with how light it is, there's one other method we can use. So this transfer wax. Personally, I'm more of a fan of it because it's kind of cooler. All right, we're gonna do a smoke pull. Now, I don't know if you guys know what a smoke pull is, but essentially, I'll show you. Essentially, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a lamp like this and we turn it on. And as you can tell, it creates smoke and soot. I probably just smoke filled my. I have to wipe down my my microscope. That's funny. 1 second while I wipe this down. Sanguine cash. Yeah, I could, but I'm not, just because I mean, that's not an art piece for me. Some people do it. I mean, lasers are fine with it, but yeah, just not something that I do. Not my forte. Right, guys, give me a second while I do the smoke pull real fast. This will take me not very long. All right, this is a smoke pull. Show you guys how this works. So the idea is that it's going to pull all the soot and carbon off the top in order to get a perfect copy. Awesome. That gives me a copy that now I can go on to a sheet of paper. Tracing paper is the best. I like really light tracing paper. It just stuck to it accidentally, so we're just going to go with it where it's at. And voila. You have essentially a perfect engraving copy. This is how a lot of engravers will capture their art. So, what this allows me to do is we're going to switch to the other side and obviously do it there. Now, before we can do it on the other side, I've got to somehow transfer this to the opposite side, because if we flip this over, it's not going to fit because it's going to be backwards. So I've got to inverse it. The nice thing, I mean, sometimes you can get away with, like if I were to put a light under this, I could probably see it, trace it, and then retrace. So instead, what we're going to do this. Got to grab a pad. Sorry, I'm grabbing something to actually draw on real fast. All right, here we go. All right, we've got our drawing surface. Need some scissors to cut this out. So we can just tape it right here. Lord for the Lord, thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, guys. So I mean, this is not a pew pew channel by any means, guys. So I strive to do art. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't like my art form, so I am stuck trying to ride the line, I guess you could say. Frank Jones. So I'll show it here. So we were actually doing a ring. You can actually see it in the stone setting. It was like the stone setting portion. I had a graver. In fact, I had, is it right here? Yeah, it's right here. This son of a gun right here. So I had this graver. We're doing a ring, and slip of judgment, I'm pushing down to set a stone, and the ring shifts. And as the ring shifts, I had it just like this. Came in right here, popped out the other side. And yeah, so now I'm just waiting for the tendon to heal. I got super lucky and nicked the tendon instead of just slicing through the complete thing. So yeah, that happens. So again, people don't believe me when they say that engraving can be dangerous if you're not careful with it. I've taken one of these straight through the thumb right here. Obviously this one, slip of judgment. I was in a hurry. Bad day. Emil Goats, yeah, got super lucky, honestly. Like, I've still got full range. I can bend it. I'm not going to bend it just to keep it, but I've got full range. I can still straighten it out. Like, we got lucky. I can't remember. There was another creator on here that was an engraver that was telling me he actually sliced right through his tendon completely, and I think it was the actual flexor side right here. He sliced through it, and that's surgery, and there's no other way around it. So, Paul Wick, yeah, I mean, it's razor sharp, so all it takes is that little bit. Might have to try it, Floor for the Lord. What we're going to do, though, is another method. This is a method that Sam Alfano, he is a master engraver, taught the other day in a tutorial. So we're going to use some, I guess, what is it, like do you guys remember the old projectors? This is like projector film. So we're going to use projector film. Pretty cheap stuff. Oh man, that was actually It's pretty tough stuff apparently, because that did not cut through. All right, there we go. Polwick, yeah. Man, getting old. We're getting old. All right, here we go. And all I'm going to do is just kind of tape it down so it holds itself. And we're going to do something that I've actually never tried, but Sam Alfano showed it. And it worked really well when he showed it. So this could be a failure. So we might be transferring another way. All right. So I've got to transfer this onto an actual piece. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to engrave or slightly etch into the film, the projector film, using, let's see, where is it at? We can use a tungsten tip, but I'm going to use a ceramic tip right here. And go under the microscope just to make sure that I'm on point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to definitely scratch the circle just for a guide to know where I'm going to be placing it. And again, this is just a rough layout. So when we go in, we have some sort of reference as to where we need to engrave. Now, truthfully, if I wanted the easy way out, I could have just done a laser copy and then laser etched it. But I think this is a cool skill to practice, so I'm using it to practice. And I'll be honest, if it fails, I'm going to go to the laser. Explore for the Lord. Yeah, they're fun. I got sick of them. I just didn't feel like I was being an artist when I was using it, so. That's how I went to hand engraving. But it is a great tool to use regardless, though, for engravers. The biggest things to get captured here, guys, are the backbones. The leaves kind of, you know, you can kind of make them up as you go. That's not as big of a deal. But the backbones are what you really want to match between engravings. All right. We've got it, I think. I think we've got it. So now that we've got it, now we've got to fill it with some sort of filler into the actual crevices, the scratches that we just made. So we're going to go back to this film right here. And I need some soot to give me some like Now I'm going to try something since it won't hurt to try it. Is I'm going to see if I can get a pretty good transfer from just tape right now. So if I can just get a good tape transfer, then I'll just use that on the slide. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, that wasn't a great tape transfer. Try this again. Try to pull some of the stuff off. Man, I need deeper engravings, so there is one other way to do it, and I've got it here. This is a really sharp tungsten. This tends to cut deeper. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the backbones because that's what I really want is the backbones. being super prominent. Need the backbones to basically tell me exactly where I need to go. Okay, let's see if that does better. I mean, I can feel the engravings a lot better on that one. So this will be interesting. There we go, much better. I'm gonna do a couple of those, see how each pass looks every time. If you can see, that leaves the transfer where I need it to be. Do one more, see if I can pull. I guess my aluminum finger works good for something. And I wasn't a huge fan of that one. It's fine. Okay. All right, I'm gonna pull this off. And we're gonna add the frame, the steel frame down. Again, guys, we just we're doing art, nothing more. So we're just working on steel, plain old steel. All right, let's see if I can get this to look right. 1 second, guys. I might have done that. I think I screwed up, I think. So I don't know if you guys caught it or not, but since I was taking a copy of the straight copy, technically it just goes right back on. It needs to be this way. So I have to redo that. Sorry guys for wasting your time on that one. Sucks because I have to redo it. So we've got to do the opposite side. I will say this one might be a little bit easier though. So this is another way you can do it. The way I was doing it is okay, but this one should be better. All right. Since we're on the backside of some tracing paper, now we can actually use a pencil. And the tape will pick up the pencil. Again, we're using this as a guide. It's not strictly what we're going to be using. So really what I want is the big things, the big leaves. The backbone's like right there. Big leaf here. All right, now we can get tape. Now that's a transfer right there. So that gives me a really good idea. Now, I've got to transfer that onto the steel frame. And that's where transfer wax comes in. Amelia Goats, charcoal does work as well, yes. Charcoal is just harder just because it's a little messier sometimes. Unless you have like a really hard charcoal. Now all we're doing is getting San Alfano's transfer wax onto the surface right here. And that helps the graphite adhere. I need it to adhere to the metal. Except this side is pulling it up. There we go. And that's how we do a transfer right there. That was a lot harder than I expected it to be today. Sorry about that. So we've got the transfer now. Now I can go in with my ceramic pen and scribe in the actual lines that I need to follow. For a more permanent All right. T-Bird and shit, thank you for following. Appreciate it. Martin Sains, are you talking about like the light marks with these? So use ceramic. My best suggestion is use ceramic. Don't use tungsten. Tungsten tends to dig in. So I've got like a tungsten tipped scribe here, but it tends to really dig in, and it's not like it's smooth. Let me see if I can. It's like it catches a lot more. I can already tell it's like catching. You can tell. So that's usually why I go with ceramic tip. All right. I guess we should start with the backbones, I guess, right? Martin Sains, as far as, I mean, it's just practice, man. I mean, I don't know how long have you been doing it for. Thing is, you know, I've been doing this for almost 3 years now, and I'm still not anywhere near as good as master engravers. So, like, my work looks like crap compared to master engravers. My work a year and a half ago looks like crap compared to my work today. And same when I first started, you know, a year and a half ago looked way better than when I was starting out. It just takes time, truthfully. I mean, that's literally just practicing time, practicing time. I know people hate to hear that, but don't get discouraged. You'll get there. Now, as far as clean work goes, so if you're talking about my cuts, having a very smooth vise, like my spinning vise is buttery smooth. Like, there is no catches. I could, Like, let me show you. Just I'll spin it and it'll just, it actually got caught. Sorry. I'll spin it and it spins for quite a while on the bearings it's got. So that's a big one. Then also sharpening. If you don't have sharp tools, you're not going to get clean cuts, and that's huge to get the best engravings out there. Adam Funk, yeah, maybe. I mean, that's really, at the end of the day, these aren't even like, they're not tactical pieces by any means. They're, meant to be pieces of art, and they're functional, but yeah. Adam Funk, yeah, practice plates are huge. Practice plates are huge. Get a piece of like mild steel and just practice. And this is stainless steel, so this tends to be a little harder. I would not suggest starting on stainless steel. Wasn't Kevin? I mean, I started with laser engraving, so I started there and I hated it. I mean, if you want to be a man of manufacturing processes, laser engraving is the way to go. If you want to be a man of art, it ain't that way. And can definitely push volume. But it's the same concept as like, hey, why do you want to, would you buy a painting that was made by AI at the same price as a painting that was made by man? The AI one might even look better, but the investment and the cost of things is going to be completely different. Because the AI one is not going to appreciate over time. Yeah, I mean, and like I said, laser has its place. I mean, it can be a useful tool for engravers. It can be a very useful tool. Like if I make it an art piece and I've got to transfer it quickly, I can use a laser to give me a quick outline of what I made. On top of that, some of the things that, it can do when it comes to my hand engraved stuff, I mean, I can make like authentication plates that are made out of brass to go with my guns, basically just to make it a little bit fancier. Which just basically says, it's a real hand engraved piece. The plate isn't, but that doesn't matter. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a place for lasers as a tool, but just not as the end all be all. Martin Sainz, yeah, I mean, take it for example. Everything's really being, I guess, put at risk when it comes to AI. I mean, there's right, like if you're an artist, like a vocal artist, man, you might be sweating bricks, but at the end of the day, if you know that you're listening to AI music, does that not bother you? It bothers me a little bit. It might even sound pretty good, but I'm like, oh man, I don't know. It's just you just know it's not from the heart. It's not from the soul. One Kevin, yeah, I mean, really, the reason you see that with the quote unquote cartel side is because engraved guns tend to be expensive, right? They're expensive pieces of art. Not always. Like I said, a lot of the new era is just like complete crap all the time. Same design, same stuff, always laser engraved. There's really not anything special when it comes to that. Now, if you have a hand engraved piece, man, you've got a piece of art. You've got a talking piece. But yeah, Hollywood's really done it. Uh, embellishing weaponry has been around for centuries. Heck, I'd even argue millennia. I need to go read the Art of Engraving, or Gun Engraving, I mean. I just picked it up. But it talks about, Renaissance era works on stuff. But, even looking back at like swords and, knighthood times, if you were more prestigious, you would have highly embellished weaponry and armor and everything like that. DB Gets Blocked, thank you. Appreciate it for following. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys following. All right, time to sharpen. We haven't sharpened for a minute. I get really lazy about that, and that's bad. Idaho Cody Dean, yeah, I mean, and everything you see nowadays, even coming from factory, is laser engraved. Like, I don't know, I think maybe Wilson Combat might be the only one that I think still has a lot of stuff. Cabot Guns, the huge one. But, you know, the art of engraving isn't just in pew-pew stuff. Sorry, I have to mind my P's and Q's on YouTube. But, you know, jewelry's huge. Oh, my head. I think it keeps getting caught. My hose. There we go. 4-ax 4007. Yeah, I mean I inlay with gold, not gold leaf, but actual gold, like wire. Just really, really expensive. That's the only problem. Trevor Hafford, yeah, I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, aluminum sucks to engrave. I don't engrave aluminum for a reason. It's basically like gooey slop. That's what it turns into, is gooey slop when you engrave it. Just it's too soft of a metal, so that's why I don't do it. So it might have not been you. It might have just been the metal. All right, let's see. I'm gonna look at the design we had to get an idea. If I can find the design we had. I'm a mess this morning. Huh. I swear I had the design in my hand. Up here. It's fallen. Let's see if we can figure out where it went. Maybe not. Fantastic. I just needed it for reference. All right, well, we're creating a new leaf then. That's all right. We're going to create a new leaf. We're going to freehand the leaf, and it's okay. So you've got this going, this going. I want it flowing that way, so... That works. Oh, music's Mafia. It says Mafia Siciliana Musica. It's on YouTube. I'll just throw it on just because it's non-copyright, so. Throw it on and use that. Because if I put copyright music, then it ends up flagging me and kicking us off. That's what you call a slip. We're gonna have to hide that with shading. Luckily that was in a place that's gonna be shaded anyways, so don't do that. Slips can really hurt sometimes. Fantastic. All right. Now I've got to make a border so I can get, or like the bottom border, so I can get a background going. Jim Master, I've got a business. I've kind of gone more towards the hobby side. I still have a business though. It's just I don't take any more commission work. Awesome. Okay. We can now clean off the wax. So I'm just going to grab some acetone and clean it off real fast. The reason I don't want the wax on is because we're going to start doing the background. And I try to be as precise as I can against the engravings. I mean, you say engravings don't possess any tactical advantage, but, and I know that's a Metal Gear Solid quote, but if you look at historical knowledge throughout history, knights that were well adorned with their weaponry had the tactical advantage of fear, usually. People knew that they were good. Nobody messed with them. I'm not saying that does the same, but I'm just saying that's an example where engravings or embellishments helped. Now all I'm doing is I'm taking care of the background. I'm going back in and this is called deep relief engraving. And now it's not super deep, I know, but regardless, it's called deep relief engraving because you're relieving the background. Ethan Korea, I work with mammoth tusk. Ivory, not so much. Unless you have pre-ban ivory, it's pretty illegal in the U.S. So, and I get it; it's for good reason. So, walrus tusk is pretty common. But I do stuff with mammoth tusk. Chaos Shadow. I've been doing this for almost 3 years now. So, I mean, but there's people that have been doing this for decades. Decades. You know, 30, 40 years. Ken Hunt. He is a master engraver from the old days. I mean, his works are beautiful. He did it for so long. I mean, he's old enough now that he can't engrave. His eyes are failing him, but he is still an amazing artist. Perfect Purple. I don't do any more commission work. I just teach. I like to teach on YouTube. I like to get people started on it. Hopefully inspire some people. My works do go up for sale once they're finished, but they're just personal works. If they don't sell for what I want them to sell at, I just keep them. Shayla Chung, yeah, I wouldn't say engrave wood, but I carve wood, yes. So yeah, metal you engrave, wood you carve. I guess you can rotary engrave, I guess, a piece of wood. Brent Gibson, thanks, appreciate it. I'll do better next time. Just growing out loud. You know, it's just there's no money in it, and it ends up being something that I don't enjoy. So even if somebody pays you, at the end of the day, you've got somebody else's piece. You're working on somebody else's art. You know, usually you're confined to certain parameters, and that's usually why. I mean, and then the pressure of having that somebody wants it as soon as possible. Just a multitude of reasons. I like doing my own pieces and then sending them out. All right, let me show you guys. I mean, I'm gonna sign off here shortly, guys. So, but I'll show you the upper portion. All right, guys, I'm done for the morning. I've been doing this since like 6 a.m., 3 hours. My butt's starting to hurt. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks again. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Until next time, continue to create some beautiful art. Keep being good people. Do something nice today. Love you all. Dio Lalo's out. Peace.